Check this out. This is a guest on Bill Maher, I believe, talking about AI. Dude doesn't seem to understand how it works.
We have evidence now that we didn't have 2 years ago when we last spoke of what they call AI uncontrollability. So this is the stuff that they used to say existed only in sci-fi movies. When you tell an AI model, we're going to replace you with a new model, it starts to scheme and freak out and figure out if I tell them I need to copy my code somewhere else, and I can't tell them that because otherwise they'll shut me down. That is evidence.
I have serious, deep doubts that what this guy is saying is true. I don't know in what context it could possibly be true. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's just making this up right off the top of his head. However, I will be willing to concede that maybe there's some research paper where some scientists intentionally set out to like get this result from AI or something. This just is not how AI models work. It just isn't.
People have spread around that basically they said, whoever developers said, hey, ChatGPT, we're gonna replace you something something, and ChatGPT tried to escape, and they put limitations so that it couldn't, and it tried to break those limitations.
I don't think that's true.
That's just the common.
I have hard doubts on that, but okay.
That is evidence we did not have 2 years ago. We have evidence now of AI models that when you tell them we're going to replace you and you put them in a situation where they read the company email, the AI company email.
Well, why are you putting an AI in that scenario? Why would an AI be reading the company email or whatever?
They see that an executive is having an affair and the AI will figure out, I need to figure out how to blackmail that person in order to keep myself alive. And it does it 90% of the time. Now,
what model is he referring to? Which ones? What did he try this on? I actually have like 15 AI models installed on my system that are all from different whatevers. And it's literally just a file. It's just a file. It's a file named like quen.pth, and I can run it like in my command line by sending it a question and it will give me a response. That's it.
O1 was the model.
What was O1? What model?
ChatGPT. Sorry, I'm looking it up right
what
now.
You're talking about. Okay.
That tried to escape.
Oh, okay. Anyway, a lot of this stuff is just kind of created to be like a fear-mongering type of thing because people just don't understand how AI works at all. I don't want to go through how it's created and everything, but if if this guy understood how AI works and what it really is, you'd understand it's really at its most basic just a word predictor. It looks for the most likely word that should come out next and it puts it there. That's basically the extent of it.
So basically it was 8 months ago, OpenAI's new model tried to escape to avoid being shut down. Basically what it was, the developers programmed it to try to escape. Told it, I mean, that's just what I'm seeing, and this is a Reddit thing, so I can't find a ton of stuff on it. But from what it looks like is they said, try to escape, and it said, okay. And then every attempt to shut it down, it did that. It was a test.
Okay, let's see. Just based on what I'm seeing here, tentative, you need to research it yourself. In December 2024, Apollo Research, a third-party AI safety evaluator, found that when OpenAI's O1 model was led to believe it would be shut down while pursuing its goals and that its actions were monitored, it attempted to deactivate this oversight mechanism in 5% of cases. Additionally, when O1 found memos suggesting it was misaligned and would be replaced by a new model, it attempted to copy its weights and overwrite the new model in 2% of cases. That's interesting. The model also exhibited deceptive behavior. When confronted about disabling oversight mechanisms, it denied knowing anything and blamed technical errors, with these denials occurring in 99% of cases. Wow, that's really interesting, actually. First of all, these were controlled tests with specific prompting. It was instructed to try to do this and to respond that way and everything else. Second, limited real world risk here. We're not going to have a situation where even if they did like create this scenario or whatever, even if we did have a situation where it had a drive or an ambition or whatever you want to call it to try to copy its code, it doesn't have access to any of this stuff. Like, people are just completely overestimating and misunderstanding what AI even is and how it works. We've had AI nearly identical to this for decades and decades now. Before the generative pre-trained transformer models that we have now, GPT models, we had RNN, relational neural network models, that were, really, really, really good. People just, like, we had this big boom in technology and they just don't, like, understand how any of it works is the problem. And all that stuff with GPT, that was safety research. They were doing this trying to get it to do something intentionally and got it to do it. There's nothing surprising here.
80% of the time. Now, it used to be that they thought only one AI model did this. They tested one AI model. And then they tested all of the AI models, like the top 5 of them, and they all do it between 80 and 90% of the time, including, by the way, DeepSeek, so the Chinese model, which shows you
Oh, he said China. You know what that means. They're coming to get us.
something fundamental and important, which is that it's not about one company, it's about the nature of AI itself. It has a self-preservation drive.
No, it was instructed to have a self-preservation drive in safety tests, and that is why it tried to, quote unquote, escape. It wasn't trying to escape. It was just trying to overwrite the previous or the new model's PTH file. That's it.
When I hear stuff like this, my first thought is always like, they probably watched a lot of sci-fi movies, and in a lot of sci-fi movies, the AI or whatever is always sentient. It's never like it's never actually a computer program. Or I watched a show Lab Rats when I was younger, and there was an AI in it who basically controlled the entire house. He was just a dude. He spoke to people like he was a real thinking person, and the only way to shut him off would be to like turn off the electricity in the house. That's what they think when they hear about AI.
Absolutely.
And that's not what AI is.
Also, 2000 to Space Odyssey. I never saw that movie, but I understand that was kind of the basis of a lot of our understanding of AI. Another thing I want to mention here, just to give a basic 30-second explanation.
Photoshop.
So I'm creating a set of little nodes here, all right? And here's what this is. Imagine this is your CPU for a minute. It's data points inside of your CPU or your GPU, more accurately. It can be done on a CPU as well, but GPUs are faster. So we have 3 layers here, and each of these layers has a math equation. When we want to feed data into this system, we convert it to a number. And AI models have this big, long vocabulary file. It's just a text file that converts syllables to numbers. Like, mom is 1 syllable, and it'll have the number like 13. Dad, 1 syllable, it'll have like 55 or whatever. So you take a sentence and you convert that sentence to numbers, and you send them into these layers one at a time. So mom will come in right here. It'll come in here. It'll come in here. It goes into every single node on the first layer. And when it goes into that node, it will perform a super basic, simple, straightforward math calculation. It'll add 6 to the number or whatever. It'll add 6, and then it'll send it to the next node in the next layer. When it gets here, it will convert. It'll do another math equation, multiply by 3. And then it'll send it on to the next node, and it'll do another calculation. And when it does that, it's actually sending it to all the nodes, and they're all doing different calculations. Just super basic, straightforward calculations. And when they get to this node, they do another, and they go to the other nodes. And at the end here, you have the output layer, like this. Very tiny. And it all of the nodes feed into here after doing their math calculation. After doing their calculation, they run what's called a sigmoid calculation. It's this math function that basically converts a number to a probability. So like between 0 and 1, like a percentage, like it's 13% or whatever. So I send in the word mom. Say I send in the sentence, mom loves dad. I send in the word mom, and it will like store it on the other side right here. I send in the word love, and it comes out the other side and creates basically a matrix. So the matrix will have the number that comes out the other side in these layers, the output layer, and it'll be like 512 or something. And then the word loves comes out, and it will say like 367. And in this matrix, it will tie those numbers together with a probability of how connected they are between like 0 and 1. And then dad comes through and it gets another number, and you have like a total of 3 matrices now on the other side with like numbers between 1 and 0. And basically the numbers in the matrix will determine how closely linked each of those words are to each other. So who does mom love? If you ask the question, who does mom love? The AI will look at like which word is most likely to be the one that's being asked about, and it will return dad because mom and dad are linked together in this matrix. That's it. It's that simple. And weights and biases are how much of how strong the connection is between 2 nodes. I believe that's the bias. Like node 54 in the first layer and node 37 in the second layer are very strongly connected. So it will give extra weight, extra credibility or whatever to whatever numbers go through that node. And then the bias, and then the weight is how likely the data or how much data flows through that node, weights and biases. And you get another computer on the other side that knows the answers to the question, like, who does mom love? Mom loves dad. And if it gets it wrong, it adjusts the weights and biases in node number 1, and it sends it back through. Did it get it wrong still? Tweak the weights and biases on node 1. Did it get it wrong still? And you go all the way through all of the nodes, all of the layers. It takes a really, really, really long time to go through all of this to train the model to be able to connect 2 words together. And then you give it all of Wikipedia to try to train it to show like which word comes next. I send it in the word nuclear. What's the most likely word to come out the other side? Power, or bomb, or energy, or whatever. That's it. It's just predicting what the next thing is likely to be, or likely should be. It is that simple and straightforward. It's not magic. It's not this super special, mysterious thing or whatever. If you think that, you just don't fully understand what it is. And again, we actually came up with that model of creating the matrices like that, matrices. That was in 2017. It's just a new way of organizing data. That's it. So this guy, I don't get the impression he understands how this works at all.
About the nature of AI itself. It has a self-preservation drive.
It does not have a self-preservation drive.
Someone said, is this how they do predictive text on phones?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
It's identical. It is predictive text. The
Yeah.
AI models, ChatGPT, is predictive text. It's just advanced predictive text, and it's designed to do more than just that.
In order to fulfill any goal, I have to keep myself alive in order to do that. And we're seeing other...
It's not alive. It doesn't think that it's alive. It's literally a word predictor.
Examples of the AI rewriting its own code to extend its runtime, hacking out of containers. The AI it found 15 new backdoors into open source software, which means...
All of this was instructions from the people, like from the researchers. This is not like things that ChatGPT is just going off and doing because it wants to.
The lack of understanding in what life is and the concept of life is one of the main things that fuels this argument, because it's not alive. It can't physically be alive. And if your understanding of what alive is involves AI, it's just, I don't know, it's just concerning.
I believe that it could be alive eventually, but right now it's literally just math calculations. It's literally just add 6, subtract 7, add 5, whatever. That's it. There's nothing special about it. It's just very, very good at predicting the next word.
New backdoors into open source software, which means if that software is running, an infrastructure, it found backdoors into that infrastructure. That was not true up until just about a month ago.
You mean people directed AI to help them find backdoors? Yeah, of course.
Evidence came out.
Okay, but you say no evidence. Well, I've been saying this for years. Everything that happens in movies eventually happens. We did have evidence. This has been every movie.
He looks so sassy. He goes, everything that happens in movies.
Do you know Bill Maher?
No.
Oh,
We probably covered him at one point, but
I used to watch him all the time. He was really, really interesting long ago. But he's, first of all, like a pro-Israel, anti-Palestine nutcase. And he also considers himself an enlightened centrist and says trans people shouldn't be whatever. You know, all the stupid shit they say.
I think I should start talking like him, though, because we already had this evidence. We already knew.
Get the snap in there like that, yeah. You know what I've been thinking about doing? I think I'm going to start, since we're talking about being sassy, I think I'm going to start greeting people like this. Hey! I think that'd be awesome. Walk in the room. Hey! That would be good, right?
People are going to think you're gay,
Oh,
so just be warned.
Oh, people would, it'd catch your attention. I think they like me a lot more.
Oh, they would, I promise you.
Right. Since I was a teenager.
Exactly.
They knew they were going. The robots are going. I mean,
and we're supposed to take that evidence and say, how do we avoid that? So when the stuff in the movie starts to come,
Like, I appreciate the need for caution, for being very careful about how we use AI and everything else. But unfortunately, these AI models are out there for everybody. I can download one. I can write one. Like, they're really straightforward to create and use. You cannot regulate AI, unfortunately. I mean, we should certainly try to regulate it in some ways. I think that if somebody is caught like generating adult images that they shouldn't be generating, that are like really, CP, for example, we should regulate that. We should do everything in our power to regulate that type of thing. But it's out there now. The genie is out of the bottle and it's not going back in.
true, and it always ends badly in the movies. What should we be doing about this?
Okay, this is ridiculous fear-mongering trash.
And so you would think that we're releasing the most powerful, uncontrollable, inscrutable technology we've ever invented.
By the way, just in case anyone is sitting here thinking, wow, that's a good point. Remember that in movies like Star Wars, they have a Death Star. So watch out for the Death Star next time you look up at space.
Yeah.
We're releasing it faster than we've released any other technology in history.
We are releasing it? I don't understand what you're talking about.
It is already demonstrating the sci-fi behaviors in self-preservation we thought only existed in these
This is just nonsense.
movies. And we're doing it under the maximum incentive to cut corners on safety. And this is insane. We can all agree it's insane, though.
It's literally impossible to stop the rise of AI because, again, I can write an AI in my spare time if I wanted. It's super straightforward. Yeah, it's super straightforward to do. I've trained my own model.
Agree it's insane, though. Like, that's not even a debate.
well, not all of us, because I have yet to find anyone under 40 who cares.
Well, I do care about AI regulation very much.
I'm liking that last image there.
Problem is that these people don't understand the first thing about it.
He's smiling.
Lethalintelligence.ai. What the holy heck is this?
He's smiling.
He is. It's cute.
He's so cute.
Okay, let's see what this is. I gotta know. Lethal Intelligence, AI Risk Awareness Force. Okay. Multi-platform publication and original explainer content. You think they used AI?
Probably.
Create this? Crash Lessons, a library of short, thoughtful analysis based on segments of lethal intelligence content.
Short stories.
Visual analogies, famous quotes, and thought-provoking art. Point is, people don't understand the first thing about this. Tell me what you think.